Well. Here we are again. That's right. It's another live stream with the Outlaw College Football. And you guys, the Outlaw Posse, is now in effect. And today we got some other topics I want to touch on here. It's the old school notes. Going to tear them off here so they'll become more readily available to me. All right. Already got two people popping in here already. So I'm already mounting up and saddling up, already ready to go up in here. I want to talk today about the fact that Clemson seems to be making noise again about possibly leaving the ACC. Now, we all know about the whole grand rights thing with Clemson and whatnot, but seems like they're making some noise again, once again. Justin Goss is in the house with his badge. How's it going? It's going pretty good, Justin. Perfect Cracker's in the house. Alan Woody's in the house. Thunder. OU Sooners up in the house as well. Just want to get y'all's thoughts on this week 5 of college football that's coming up. We're going to start calling this segment Thirsty Thursday. What do y'all think about that? What I mean by that is we thirsty. We ready for some college football, baby. 2 more days to the main smorgasbord of college football. I know we have a few games tonight and tomorrow night, but the main games that really matter usually are played, although they are playing some pretty decent games, I think, this week on Thursday and Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say that Utah and Oregon State play either tonight or Friday night. Brantley Tennant's in the house. What's going on, Brantley? Boomer Sooner to the Roll Tide, Crimson Nations Unite. I'm a little bit under the weather tonight, so if I choke up on y'all, don't think I'm killing over here. You know, I'm getting a little up in age. So Justin Goss likes the idea of Thirsty Thursday. What I need to do is try to get some of you guys and gals on here that aren't camera shy. So this can truly be about the common Joe and common Sally in the know, even more so than those media talking heads. Need to have a few of y'all on as guests every so often. I'm going to try to get a guest for our next show. I think I'm going to try to get Greg Flugar. He's a well-known well-known sports guy in the Big Ten circles up there. I'd like to get his take and what he thinks about as far as the Big Ten, the SEC moving forward. As these conferences continue to, I mean, we thought we was through with conference realignment talk, and then this stuff about Clemson pops up. And the Monty show tries to dismiss it and say, look, we're not going to listen to that because they say that all the time. They never do it. Well, they said the same thing about the Pac-12 all summer. Oh, they said they're going to expand or they're going to leave the conference, and they never do it. Well, they're not going to do it right then, Monty. They're not going to do it that same exact day, brother. It's just a rumor. But if these kind of rumors are percolating way before the legal wrangling that's probably going to take place in order to get them out of that grand rights, you would think if it was only 3 or 4 years down the road, like you're trying to allude to, that they wouldn't be doing it right now. S365 Sports pointed out earlier today. Good channel, too. Check those guys out. Monty Show's all right, too. But if it was going to be 3 years down the road, they wouldn't have started bringing it up again. Somebody knows something somewhere, and it's saying, I pulled up right here, Larry Williams. Let's get it pulled up for you guys. Larry Williams of Tiger Illustrated basically come out and said that there may be movement as far as Clemson goes. Y'all see that? As a matter of fact, I even asked him to be on the show, as you can see right there. So I'm starting to ask people to be on my show more. People have been asking me to maybe have a few guests every now and then. As you can see here, Larry Williams of Tiger Illustrated says, know that since mid-August, we have written that the attempted secession from the ACC Union is likely to commence during the 2023 season. And 3 days ago, we wrote that it's likely going to take place in October. That's according to Tiger Sports Illustrated. So, what do y'all think about that? I thought, they keep talking about with Florida State and Clemson, yada, yada, yada. They've been talking a lot about it for the past couple of months. But it's just like the whole Pac-12 thing, man. People didn't think it was going to happen. They don't keep talking about that stuff. You don't keep seeing smoke if something about to happen, in my opinion. Florida State and Clemson will not be in the ACC much longer. That's why they went and got Stanford and California and SMU, because they're trying to get ahead of the curve. J.D. Wilmoth is in the house. Saturday's Oklahoma-Iowa State game will make the 149th consecutive sellout in Norman. I wonder how long it's been since USC had a sellout. Besides Tebow and Mary Caleb, they are sellouts. That's a good point. Good play on words there, JD. I like that. As a matter of fact, y'all hold on for a second. I got a little surprise for y'all. I'm gonna go get it real quick. I'll be right back. Here we go. All righty. Mike Wilkerson in the house with his badge. Mike Happy in the house. Time referred to USC-CU game as the BET Awards. Effing why? I don't know, man. I assume that there's actually some white players on both teams, so I don't know why Time would do that. But, Time does what Time does. He's a con. Yes, Hank, Clemson and FSU are determined to find a way out. You are correct in that, sir. But I want to show y'all something real quick. Since Time thinks it's cool to disrespect coaching etiquette by wearing his little sunglasses at the pressers. Now, I got a problem with someone wearing their sunglasses or hat outside and whatnot, but you don't see Mike Tomlin. They try to play it off like it's a black cultural thing, as I said in the last podcast, but you don't see Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers or Marcus Freeman of Notre Dame or even the coach at Colorado State who's also black and numerous other coaches in the past. You've never seen them wear sunglasses at a presser. It's just him trying to force his way and show that he can just be disrespectful any way he wants because he thinks everything's about him. So let's see what we got here. Should be the fit on here. Look at that. How's that look? You see that? You see that, Time? Yeah, right there, brother. That's what you look like, man. You see how goofy I look? That's how goofy you look, man. I promise you. These glasses right here are glasses that you wear after you get your eyes examined. So unless you're getting your eyes examined before the press conference, there's no reason for you to be wearing them goofy ass Power Ranger glasses with your Prime Optimus nickname that you got yourself, Coach Prime. You sound like a cartoon character off the damn Transformers, brother. See how damn goofy that shit looks? Y'all tell me how goofy that looks. Does that not look goofy as hell to y'all? I just had to do it. I couldn't resist, man. I just couldn't resist. Oh, man. I'd take my obligatory Time shot. That's almost as obligatory as me calling USC the Skittle Shitters each and every episode that I do. Also, playoffs. Playoffs? I don't say about playoffs. Yep, Jim Moore, we sure did. Looks like the playoff format that's set for 2024 may be, right now it's set at 6 for 6. 6 conference champions get in and 6 automatic qualifiers get in. Well, now if the Pac-12 is probably going to go away, they're trying to go to 5 and 7. 5 conference champions, 7 at large, which I have no problem with. I think you should even take it a step further. I never understood why there were 6 qualifying conference champions, highest qualifying conference champions, because a lot of these conferences that they're champions don't really deserve an automatic bid. So if you got 6, then you're going to be taken from one of the G5 conferences. So what they need to do, since the Pac-12 is going away, is not just go to 5-7, but they need to go down to a 4-8 format. They need to have 4 automatic qualifiers, that being the Big 4 right now. And the ACC eventually is probably going to go away too, and it's going to have to go to a 3-9. But 4 automatic qualifiers, the ACC, the Big 10, the SEC, and the Big 12. And then after that, you have 8 at-large bids. Maybe you could throw one qualifying bid for the top G5 school, the highest rated G5 school. So you can say that they got a shot. And then if the committee sees fit to give yet another spot to a G5 school, then they will do so. What do y'all think? Thunder OU Sooner says 2 narcissistic head coaches playing each other on Saturday versus USC. Colorado versus USC. That's right. Like I said, I'm under the weather a little bit today, so y'all excuse me. I also got me a little something here. This will make me look like a redneck. Oh, look at that. Got me a Waffle House coffee cup, man. I love me some Waffle House. I ain't gonna lie. People make fun of Waffle House, man, but at least you can sit there and watch them cook it. You ain't got to worry about them shooting boogers on it or anything like they did at Domino's. Y'all remember that Domino's fiasco that they got videoed where the guy was snorting boogers on the Domino's pizza and sending it out to people? Oh, man. All right. Now, we might have a guest coming up in here in just a second. Jonathan Lewis, formerly with College Football with Jonathan Lewis, may pop in with us for a little bit. I don't know. I sent him an invite. He may show up. He may not. Last time, he wet his little diaper a little bit because I didn't invite him. So he can't say nothing this time. If he don't show up, he don't show up. J.D. Wilmoth with that big badge poking out there. Don't forget about Tony Dungy. I never seen him wear shades. Exactly. Dennis Green never wore shades. As a matter of fact, Dennis Green's little catchphrase would have been very applicable to Con Time this week. Dennis Green would have told him, "We are who we thought you were. You are who we thought you were, Con Time. A big old con. First top 10 matchup you get, boom, shakalaka, boom. Saka Zulu, Sanders, his son, got sacked 7 times and got blew out because they are who we thought they were. And I hate to say this, but they'll score more points on USC, definitely. They'll probably get the 28 points that a lot of teams are putting up on USC. But USC will probably put 70 on them. I don't know who looks the weirdest with those glasses, Uncle Lou or Con Time. It seems like Uncle Lou's always wearing shades. Yeah. Talk about Auntie Louise. Hey, y'all tell old Auntie Louise he can unblock me now if he wants to. I promise I won't grill his ass anymore. He got mad because I started calling his team the Hedge Pissers, and I made fun of him because he voted for Hillary Clinton. So we got here. I sent you the link, man. I sent you the link in the email. I just emailed it to you I sent you the link about 15 minutes ago. It should be in your email. It should be titled Week 5. Week 5, college football with Jonathan Lewis, Week 5. So you're going to root for Colorado, huh? Speaking of which, y'all think these games this week might be trap games for Oklahoma and Texas? That would be awful, man. If Oklahoma got upset by Iowa State and then Texas got upset by Kansas, man, they'd ruin the whole big-time shootout, Red River shootout that's coming up. Now, I know, according to political, toothpick. According to political people, you're supposed to call it the Red River rivalry. You're not supposed to call it the shootout anymore because they're afraid the word shootout will encourage people to have a shootout. Also, if y'all want to, get your badge and get deputized. I heard the buzzer going off over here. Did y'all hear that? Let's see what we got here. Have someone trying to call in. Oh, yeah. All right. So what do y'all think about that? Y'all think that Iowa State and Kansas could be overlooked by both Oklahoma and Texas? Y'all think there's a chance that one of those two teams, maybe not both, but especially Texas, you know, Texas has had problems with Kansas in the past, have they not? Ian Hintz says, hey, Outlaw, you think that Alabama will win out? And do you think that Oklahoma can beat Texas? Well, yeah. The hard thing about Oklahoma, you know, is they haven't really played anybody that's that significant yet other than SMU. It's hard to tell. I can tell the defense is better. Hopefully they won't give up 49 points this time. I think they can keep it close with Texas. I'm not sure if they can beat Texas just yet, but we shall see pretty soon. In 2 weeks, we're going to find out whether or not they can beat Texas, right? I think Alabama will, if they can continue doing what they did against Ole Miss and, you know, try to limit Jalen Milroe to one turnover a game at least, because he had one bad turnover in that game too. It cost us. We was down there at the goal line this time. At least he didn't throw the pick deep in our territory like he did against Texas twice. We have our first donation today. Heath Stokes in the house with a big $20 donation. I don't see a comment with that, Heath. But if you want to make a comment and throw it up there, I will make sure I get to it. There's one of your comments. Texas always slips with a bit of success. That is true. Let's put your $20 comment back up there. And if you want to get your comment pushed to the top like Heath, and you want me to read it out readily and more quickly and over the other comments, because comments are starting to flush in here now, just to hit that $sign at the bottom of the video, make your comment, and then send it on. However many characters you want is how much you have to pay usually. And it'll highlight it and push it to the top. Also, you see all these pictures of people with the badges in here. From right now, from what I can see, Matt Bingham, Justin Goss, J.D. Wilmoth, among others, are up in here with their badge on. If you want to get your badge and get deputized, it's a little join button next to the subscribe button on the channel. If you're on a Apple phone, you'll have to probably go to your laptop or your computer because it doesn't mesh with YouTube memberships. But just hit that join button. You'll get your badge and you'll be deputized. And you'll be in the Outlaw Posse. It's not but $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. And you'll get a random 4 horseman shout out, which I might do in this show. I'm not sure yet. At least on the podcast, you'll get a random 4 horseman shout out as well as maybe be the comment of the day on the podcast. See what we got here. Hines 57A. Think for half of football, Kansas looks good, but Texas walks away with it midway through the third and makes it ugly. Iowa State has almost no run game, and OU's defense is too tough for ISU. I sort of concur with that. And excuse me. I hope that both teams win because I really want to see this be an undefeated match with national playoff implications on the line for the first time in a long time. It's been a long time since these two teams have been going in this game undefeated. And it's been, 3, 4, 5 years maybe? 5, 6 years? I would have been more worried about Iowa State beating I would have been more worried about Iowa State beating Oklahoma earlier this year until they lost to Ohio. And once they lost to Ohio, I was like, yeah, something ain't right. Matt Campbell's done missed his opportunity. He's done missed his window to get a big time job because Iowa State's slipping. They slipped last year. I think 7-6 or something, or 8-5 or something. They weren't very good last year. They barely got into a bowl. I just don't. And then they beat Oklahoma State last week, but everybody's beating Oklahoma State nowadays, right? South Alabama even whooped them. They ain't just beat them; they beat them bad. Also, I heard something about Mike Gundy. Like I said, if y'all want your comment highlighted, like Keith, just hit that $ at the bottom. You'll push it to the top, and I can read it out more readily. But Mike Gundy, I heard a little rumor about him last couple of weeks that a lot of his players are thinking about transferring out because him and his coaching staff were not catering enough to the parents and to the agents, their agents. And say, I knew this shit was going to happen. I have no problem with players getting paid. Let me go ahead and put that out there. Preface that before we have some Nimrod come in here saying I don't want players to get paid. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there needs to be some kind of rules in place. These parents, these agents, they have to go by rules when they're in the NFL, when you're earning a real salary playing football. Then you need to go by rules in the NCAA. You need to go by rules in college football. The NCAA needs to be done away with. There needs to be a new governing body, and they need to set up rules, especially for tampering. You all know the story. I'm not going to get into it, but we all know what the USC Skittle Shitter's done. Oh, Linky Boy, oh, Tebow, TBOW, the bitch out west, Lincoln Riley. We all know what they did. They lured a bunch of Oklahoma's players into the portal. Nothing wrong with getting transfer portals, I have said ad nauseum. As long as you're not luring them over there. There needs to be some kind of tampering rules in place and some kind of trade agreements, just like the NFL. They need to have some kind of rules as far as how many teams you can play for within a 4 or 5 year thing. I think they actually do have a rule in place for that now. But I think that you ought to be able to transfer just once. And then after that one time, there needs to be a real big stimulating circumstance. Go hold it down for a second. I hear somebody knocking at my door. Well, looks like you got a guest in here. What's up, brother?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Getting choked up over here.
Getting choked up.
I am. I got some kind of science code going on.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I just had to take my medication. I have the same thing going on. Oh man. Yeah, I just I had a sinus infection about a week ago. So getting over that crap myself. I got a new microphone, so you guys can hear me good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, sweet. No echo or nothing like that. All right. So tonight's topics. I had a lot going on today. What are we talking about today?
Well, I started off talking about Larry Williams from Tiger Illustrated Insider.
Yeah.
He's the one of the leading guys for Clemson, and stuff is starting to percolate again about Clemson leaving the ACC.
Oh yeah, of course.
And the morning show was talking about today, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to hear it," but I'm like, well, y'all said the same thing about the Pac-12. Y'all didn't believe it was going to happen, and it happened.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they shit wouldn't keep percolating up like that. If it was 3 or 4 years down the road, they weren't going to be able to get out. Something's going on somewhere legally. For them to keep talking about it is what I was saying.
Oh man. We're talking about any games coming up this weekend.
Yeah, I was talking about Iowa State and Oklahoma and Texas and Kansas having trap games this week.
Texas and Kansas. Yeah, Texas. Who they play this weekend? I know they got Oklahoma next week. Who they play this weekend?
Who?
Who do they play this weekend? Texas.
Texas, they play Kansas.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that. I don't know if that's a trap game. Kansas is I don't know, they're a real threat to beat Texas.
Well, I mean, as far as trap, I mean, I'm just talking about could these teams get upset before the
Oh
game?
yeah, 100%.
That would really suck if both those teams lost before the shootout, before the Red River shootout.
Texas is, I mean, both of them really, if you think about it, the past couple of years, both of them has definitely fallen to somebody they were not supposed to lose to. Has it happened before the Red River Showdown? The past couple of years, I can't think of one. I mean, I'm sure it has, but bro, all I know is Texas seems to end up underperforming by the end of the year every single year. Oh, Oklahoma's clinging on to Brent Venables, pulling that staff together. I mean, he's in year 2, so I mean, I don't know, man. Oklahoma, who do they play this weekend?
Iowa State.
Iowa State. That's definitely not gonna. I don't see that being a trap game at all. I definitely see Kansas. Kansas can. I don't think it's sneaking up on Texas at all. I think it'd be just Kansas beating Texas. In my opinion, Quinn Ewers did not look like the Quinn Ewers against Alabama when he played against Wyoming. That's for damn sure. Like I said, but a lot of times you got to look at games they're coming off of. Oh, my bad. Games they're coming off of, and you look at the Alabama Texas game, and them coming off of that very emotional win. But in Quinn Ewers, like I said, a lot of people said he underperformed against Wyoming, and he did. If you go back and watch the game, there's no doubt about that. So,
well, I mean, Alabama didn't look like the team that played Texas to a pretty tight game either in the next week against South Florida. I think both those teams were banged up a little bit after that game.
Yeah, and I think Alabama had no clue who they were. Like, I'm still not fully convinced we know who we are, but we definitely have way more of an identity now. We definitely know now Jason McClellan is the guy at running back. Like, Roydell Williams is number 2. Jalen Milroe is the quarterback. We know where Tyler Booker stands on that offensive line. We know where Caden Proctor needs help on that left side. Like, there's a lot of unknowns that we went into the season with that, I mean, playing against mediocre competition in game 1 is not going to help you, in my opinion, that much. Middle Tennessee State does us no favors. And that's why I kind of like the big games in week 1. Like when we played USC, right, in week 1, I believe, a couple of years ago. I believe that was the first game of the season, actually. I like when we do that. I don't like the warm-up game before because I don't feel like those really help you as much as people tend to think they do. They're more of a deterrence for injuries almost in week 1. So I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Like, are you guys in favor of week 1? I don't know how I brought this about, this topic, but are you guys in favor of mediocre? We'll say the Division II, the FBS, whatever you want to call it, the FCS competition in week 1, or would you rather see it later on in the season, maybe week 2, 3, or 4? What do you think, JPC?
Well, I mean, with the quarterback situation that we had, I thought it might be a good thing that we had Middle Tennessee State to get, Jalen Milroe's feet wet, but obviously it didn't help him because the second week he came out and shit the bed and threw 2 interceptions, and people's like, you can't blame on one player, but if you throw 2 interceptions that deep in your territory and it leads directly to 10 points, you can absolutely blame that player.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think I'm being biased because Alabama has had a string of bad luck, typically with the bigger games in week 2 or 3. When I mean bad luck, I mean it doesn't tend to pan out to us figuring out who we are. When you look at the USC game, we found out Blake Barnett was not our quarterback. Jalen Hurts was our quarterback because it had to have such a fast and reaction. Nick Saban had to be reactive in that game. He had to figure it out in week 1, right? So there was no gun shy. There was, you know what I mean? You couldn't kind of pull it back. It was you got to play these guys. Who you think is going to win you the games? We're playing USC. We're playing a serious competition here. Whereas playing against Middle Tennessee State, we rode the back of Jalen Milroe thinking he's the guy. And like you said, it kind of disguised a lot of deficiencies we had in that, you know, that week 1 win. And we go into Texas thinking this is our guy, and it was just a complete and utter disaster. Like, yeah. Let's see here.
Anthony Manzano asked his outlaw, which of the teams that the ACC had recently do you think they really think that keeps teams like Miami, Clemson, Virginia Tech, North Carolina, Florida State, and NC State from leaving the conference? I think the ACC is trying to get ahead of it when they added SMU and California and Stanford, because I think they know that Clemson and Florida State's about to be gone. They're trying to get ahead of it and not end up like the Pac-12. You know, the Pac-12 didn't get ahead of it, and then they lost all their schools. Now they got just 2.
Yeah.
So they're talking about the Pac-12 may still not be dead, but you only got 2 teams. What are you going to do? Add about 10 Mountain West schools? Or at that point, is it really a Power 5 conference? In my opinion, they're not a Power 5 conference anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's see here. Go down to Anthony's next one. It says, Outlaw, do you feel like Kansas and Duke are legit, or are they fool's gold and are going to come down to earth in the next few weeks? I'll give you my opinion. I 100% think Kansas is legit. Do I think they're going to contend for a national championship? No. Do I think they can upset anybody any week? 100%. They have the offense to do it.
I think they're legit in the aspect that they're not going to go back to being the Kansas that we know, at least until Leopold's not there. And Leopold probably won't be there. He probably won't be there more than 2 or 3 more years at most. Maybe not even after this year. He may find another job. Duke, the jury's still out on Duke. They beat Clemson, but Clemson ain't looked that great. I mean, they did almost beat Florida State, but Florida State ain't looked that great, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So Duke does play Notre Dame this week. So I don't know if that game's at Touchdown Jesus or whether it's in Duke's dilapidated stadium down there in Wallace Wade or what.
Well, I'll say this. I don't think either one of those coaches are going to be there long. Mike Elko has come in and did a phenomenal job at Duke. Like you said, I get it. It's a down Clemson team. It's still Duke. Duke should not be – and Duke did not just beat Clemson. Duke handled it. They gave them their ass on the field. And I think it has a lot to do with Mike Elko. He's running the system that best fits his players. And on teams like that, that's kind of the way you have to do it. And, yeah, Sooner Ross at the bottom says Kansas has a great offense fundamentally. And that's what makes Kansas so dangerous is they can, in my opinion, they can upset you any week. They may not win the conference. They may not win a national championship with, you know, who they have on the field, but they're going to put up points.
Jay from Snow, do either of y'all think that Colorado can exploit the USC defense enough to beat them? Last I heard, that Alex Grinch is very close to being fired.
He is garbage.
I think that Colorado is probably going to get the obligatory 28 points that the other losses that USC give to other teams, but I think that Colorado's defense is just as bad as USC's, probably worse. So I could see USC probably putting 56 up on them and Colorado scoring 28 or 35.
People may not think this. I think that Lincoln Riley is going to somehow twist this to make it personal against USC and Caleb Williams. And I think Caleb Williams is going to do – what did I say the last podcast? I said, did I not come on here and say this? Bo Nix was going to take that Colorado game personal because Shedeur Sanders was getting all the hype. Bo Nix was getting none. Colorado's getting the hype. Oregon's getting none. Oregon should be playoff contenders, right? That's what they should be talking about. But they're not. They weren't talking about that. That's why Dan Lanning made the speech. And, you know what I mean? I saw where you made the video on him backtracking and all that. But either way, it was said. This stuff was said either way. And I feel like Lincoln Riley will use that to his advantage. I believe he's going to preach the same thing. Colorado is 3-1. You know what I mean? They're not in the top 25 anymore, but they're going to come in. They're going to play USC. And if Lincoln Riley somehow loses, if he loses this game to Colorado, look, there's nothing else you can do except fire Alex Grinch, right? Because it would be because of the defense. And their defense isn't great. Their defense is showing up at times. I know that their defense has one of our ex-players on it, Shane Lee, who's actually balling out for their defense this year. I believe he's middle linebacker. But no, I believe USC is going to absolutely do what Oregon did. They're going to wipe the field with them when you light them up.
I don't think Lincoln Riley. Well, he might. I don't know, because it seems like people are afraid to, especially people in the mainstream, are afraid to question Deion Sanders for whatever reason. So I think that they'll probably feel sorry for him like Oregon did, and they'll probably end up putting they could put 63 on him, 70 points.
If Caleb Williams wanted to, dude, Caleb Williams is a way more dynamic quarterback than Bo Nix. They could easily put 60 on Colorado, especially without Travis Hunter. With Travis Hunter, that game wouldn't have mattered against Oregon. Would have been a little bit closer, maybe, not much. But I can tell you this much. USC can score more points than Oregon, in my opinion, this week. If Lincoln Riley plays this right, I think Caleb Williams in that offense is going to put up more than 42 points. I think they're going to take it personal. They're going to try to do exactly what Oregon did.
Did you see that impersonation of how to be disrespectful?
Oh, my gosh. Yes, I saw that.
Like that, don't you?
Oh, my gosh. Of course she did.
Yeah.
What do they call it? The Blenders, I think is what his his company's called, Blenders. But,
well, I told him, man, that's the only time you need to be wearing them damn glasses in a press conference if you went to the damn eye doctor beforehand.
Man, hey, to each their own. I give Deion credit to they're not 1-11.
No coaches ever done that, man.
What's
no coaches
that?
ever wore sunglasses to the press conferences. You tell me one coach that does that shit.
Sunglasses?
Yeah. None of them.
I can give you probably what's his name?
I'm talking about the press conference.
Yeah. No, I got you. To a press conference?
Yeah, Colorado State's coach is one that called him out.
I can give you one. I can give you one that's warm. And USC fans are going to love this. Your boy Lincoln Riley did it. He wore sunglasses to a press conference.
There you go, folks. 2 P's and an effed up pod.
Yeah, he
time and Linky boy.
When he came out of practice, one of their first practices at USC, he was wearing, because that comment was made about him asking him why he's wearing sunglasses. So yeah, no, that was one of the first 3 or 4 press conferences he did after practice at USC. So I actually remember that.
We have another donation coming from Heath Stokes. He got a $10 donation. Didn't please comment with it, but I think this is the comment. He's got Quinn Ewers versus Dylan Gabriel next week, and this year, not NFL prospect. Who do you got? Dylan is underrated. Thoughts?
I am very high on Dylan Gabriel. So underrated, not to me. Dylan Gabriel to me is. I said it too. I thought he was one of the best pickups possible for Oklahoma when they brought him over from UCF. The dude's a gunslinger. He fits their system perfect. That's why he's going to put up crazy numbers every single year. I've always been high on Dylan Gabriel. Now, NFL and I'm glad you put that in there. NFL prospect, you know what I mean? Don't count that because people are going to say Quinn Ewers is better NFL. And I don't buy into that crap. 6'4", you need to be this tall, this height. Throw the ball this way, whatever. I don't dig into any of that crap. That's why I don't do the NFL like that. But when you match Quinn Ewers up against Dylan Gabriel in the systems they're in right now, I'm taking Dylan Gabriel all day long. So, I mean, he's been in the system longer. He was in the system at UCF with the same coordinator. So, I mean, of course I'm going to take him over Quinn Ewers. That's just me, though.
If y'all want to get your comment read out like Heath did, all you got to do is hit that $ at the bottom. It'll highlight it and push it to the top for me. That way we can see it and read it out above the other comments. I had the schedule up here. I can pull it up. I know last time I pulled up the schedule on here and they ended up putting me on limited ads because I had that shit on here. And then one of them, they red striked it.
Yeah, they're bad about that. Oh man, is that what you're bringing up the schedule?
I don't know if y'all can see it or not.
Yeah, I can see it.
Nothing really going on tonight.
Oh, tonight? No, not really.
Friday, you got Louisville and NC State.
Dude, I like the Utah and Oregon State game.
Utah, Oregon State will be a good one.
I think Cam Rising's coming back against DJ Ungalele, the ex-Clemson quarterback.
Yeah, DJ's making Clemson look a little stupid, ain't he?
He struggled in the last game, but he compared to what they're doing right now, yeah. Cade Klubnik.
South Alabama beat Oklahoma State a couple weeks back, and then last week they lost to Central Michigan.
Yeah,
so I don't know what that says about Oklahoma State, man. I was just getting into that. They're saying today on the Monty Show that a lot of the players at Oklahoma State are talking about transferring out because Mike Gundy and his staff are not respecting their parents and their NIL agents enough.
That doesn't surprise me. He's never shown a lot of respect from what I've seen.
I don't normally agree with Mike Gundy, but I don't see why you should have to show anybody's agent any respect. They need to have some kind of rules in place for that stuff.
Stokes says Ricola. Yeah, Ricola's the best. They're a little expensive. They're a little pricey, but it's definitely the best cough drops out there, in my opinion.
Actually, I got some of those in my pocket right now. I need to take some.
But I like Sooner Ross's better. Shot of whiskey. Yeah. Right on that.
We've lost 2 games. It looks like they play Syracuse this week. Syracuse is undefeated, right?
I believe so. We got so many undefeateds that are just. Bryce says I got the Utes in that game. Yeah.
Florida plays at Kentucky. That'll be a big game for both of those teams. The loser of that's behind the 8 ball as far as the SEC East goes. Florida's looking a lot better since they beat Tennessee, but then they turn around and look like shit against Charlotte.
Too inconsistent.
You think Florida beats Kentucky this week?
No. I got Kentucky in that game. I do. I think I'm going with offensive line play. I think Kentucky is going to hold out. I think it'll be a 3-point game.
And Texas A&M plays Arkansas at Jerry World.
And they lost their quarterback, Wigman or Weigman, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And last time that happened, they beat Alabama 2 weeks later with Zach Calzada. Yeah, I was there for that personally to watch that down here in Texas.
You brought some bad luck, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did. Now I went to that game, recorded it and everything, and I had to sit there and watch the fans storm the field. Jesus.
Georgia plays at Auburn. You think Auburn's got a chance?
No, Georgia don't play nobody this year. I know they got ranked teams on the schedule like Florida and all them, but
what about Nebraska? You think they got a chance of upsetting Michigan?
No, absolutely. No, Blake Corum, Michigan, no.
I think it's in Lincoln.
I think Michigan's going to run to the Big Ten. I don't think Ohio State has a chance against Michigan.
You don't think so?
No. Their quarterback, Kyle McCord, I think his name's Kyle McCord. McCord reminds me a lot of AJ McCarron. He's a extremely good game managing quarterback. And I know a lot of people are going to scream and pout and say, well, he drove him down to the last drive of the field of the game, kicked the winning field goal or whatever the hell it is, winning touchdown, I don't forget what it was. But no. But he's way too up and down. AJ McCarron was like it a lot too.
Outlaw, do you think it's a recipe for disaster for Deion to constantly hire Hall of Famers on his coaching staff that have no expertise in coaching except for Warren Sapp, who got a degree from UM?
You can't hire your friends. If that's what he's doing, I don't know what he's doing.
Well, hiring Hall of Famers don't always work out for you. Most time, Hall of Fame players aren't very good coaches because they're just not realistic. That's why Michael Jordan said he never got into coaching once he retired from the Wizards or the Bullets or whatever they were called then. So, and you know, Magic Johnson back in the day, he was a coach all for like a month, and he quit.
Yeah. Coaching is not for everybody. Kind of like playing is not for everybody. It's two separate things. You know, it's like saying LeBron's going to come out and coach, but LeBron's smart.
Heath Stokes says Florida is a Texas clone.
So I'm assuming you're going with inconsistent play. I mean, you could digress to even saying Head coach still learning. Yes, Steve Sarkisian you could definitely tell he's still in his early learning phase, even though he's been coaching for a couple of years. But what he took from Saban, he kind of rebuilt the way he coached. So, yeah, Michigan's schedule just as weak as Georgia's schedule. I agree with Elliot on that comment at the bottom. But Georgia's is, if you look at, another reason I'm saying Georgia's because the SEC is down bad this year. With Florida getting smacked around by Utah and Tennessee losing the way they did, I'll be honest with you, I thought the Ole Miss Alabama game was going to be closer. I can't name outside of, I'll be honest with you, I'm not confident at all in anybody in the SEC winning the national championship. There's no direct team. Georgia's even looked very inconsistent.
I haven't seen a dominant team all year from anybody, to be honest with you.
The only team I can think of that hasn't struggled would be who? I don't think there is a team out there that really hasn't struggled to some degree. But, I mean, Georgia was that last year, too. Last year, Georgia came out for their first 4 or 5 games. It was sloppy. Then they turned it on in the second half of the season and just started dominating everybody. So, it could happen again. I think if Georgia was ever going to do a three-peat, this is the year to do it. I do believe that.
Well, that little fiery speech that Dan Lanning give, it's basically went viral, man. You could see the passion in his eyes, man.
Yeah.
And he just had that look about him. At that point, did you ever think, like I did right then, that maybe he could be a candidate to replace Nick Saban at Alabama?
Yeah, look, Dan Lanning is he's a very emotional head coach like Nick Saban is. I know a lot of people get crazy on Nick Saban because he throws his headsets, and I remember when he smacked AJ McCarron on the butt really hard when he came off the field, like smacked him. It looked like he was swinging at him. That reminds me a lot of Dan Lanning. Because if you go back after the halftime, towards the end of the game, Dan Lanning's face when Oregon got stopped a couple of times was brutal. He was pissed. Like, you could tell Dan Lanning coached to the last second of that game. Like, I don't know if he took it personal with Colorado. I have not watched his previous games this year. I don't know if he's been that way all season. I do know one thing. Whatever's going on in his head, yeah, it looks a lot like Nick Saban but we're talking early Nick Saban. Lately, the past 2-3 years, that hasn't been there, in my opinion, from Nick Saban. And I hate to relate it to that, but that's who it reminds me of. But the early, 2007 to 2014, 15 Nick Saban, that's who it reminds me of. Somebody very emotional. He wears his emotions on his sleeve during the game. And look, those halftime speeches are not meant to be out there in the open for people to see. So I know people want to judge those speeches. I don't agree with that. I think that it's kind of like when Nick Saban did his booster speech. You know what I mean? Should not be recorded.
They're playing for clicks and we're playing for wins, man.
That's for his team to hear.
That was pretty epic. When he said that, I was like a high school kid in the lunchroom when someone just got punked out or something, man. I was like, woo.
I'll give you this. That made it personal. When he said that, I don't care what Dan Lanning said, because I agree with you. He tried to almost walk his speech back because he knows what he said was personal. He made it personal. Because Deion, a lot of people don't like hearing this. Maybe even you, JBC. Deion's never went after a coach yet. And I think Lanning may think that he steered it the wrong direction and made it personal towards Deion. That's probably why he backed up a little bit on what he said. Because he realized he wasn't coming after me, but he did make it personal when he said they're going after clicks. And I'm not going to disagree with it. I'm not disagreeing with it at all.
Deion's made it personal all year long. I mean, they get out there and they talk smack and they cussing people out and out there gouging on the logo at midfield and throwing up their Louis and showing their gold watches and look at our necklaces and all that.
You've been to a football game, right? You've been to a football game.
I don't see Alabama's players wearing a bunch of gold chains.
Well, that Texas ain't it, but because they didn't have NIL. Let's be real. Yet,
that shit's uncalled for. The way they,
man, look, these players are going to talk shit. Hell, that happens when you work somewhere. You're going to talk shit,
right?
But I agree with Ian Hintz at the bottom. They're having fun to a certain degree. Now, as long as you don't make it personal, wiping your foot on a logo, that's taking it a little too far, in my opinion. But talking shit, flashing your stuff, flashing your watches, hey, if your NIL money is making you that, whatever, who cares? But
Bryson, disagree because I think that's bullshit.
Bryce knows what I'm trying to do. I haven't had a chance to get on here and be devil's advocate yet in a long time.
To me, it ain't much of a devil's advocate point of view, man. They're just completely they don't respect anything. It's just like the coach, man. He don't respect the coaching profession, in my opinion. That's why I don't like him. Because he's a narcissistic bully, man.
No, I won't disagree with what you're saying for the most part because I don't know. I don't pay attention enough to Deion, to be honest with you, or what they've done or what he's done there.
And as far as them being kids and just having fun, I don't like that either. I don't think
talking trash.
I don't think they're kids. They're not kids, man. They're 18 years old and they can vote and they can kill somebody in a war. They're not kids, man. They're not kids. So y'all quit making that excuse for them and making y'all enabled in that shit, man.
I talk shit to you all the time.
I know.
You're going to make me drive up to Tuscaloosa and smack you around a little bit. Throw my Louis at you. Show you my watches.
There's a difference, though, man. You know.
I know. I know. I'm just messing with you.
The way you do it is different. That they actually mean what they say in a harmful way.
Yeah. What do you think about that hit on Travis Hunter? You think that was – so you must agree that you thought that was a low ball hit.
I don't.
You don't?
I thought it was a legit hit.
How?
Because Deion Sanders even said it was. Your boy.
I don't agree with Deion Sanders with everything. That was, dude, the guy was wrapped up going out of bounds.
Well, I'll tell you what. What was more low blow than that got no play whatsoever is him.
The poke in the eyes with Shador Sanders. I already know. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that.
That was an actual hit in a ball game. Actually poking somebody in the eye, that's not a football play. At least that could be considered a football play. That's not a football play. When you go all Ric Flair and shit on somebody, you're like, woo, and you poke them in the damn eye. Oh, man. That's bullshit, man.
No, I agree with you.
Is Zulu Sanders now. We're just going to call him Zulu because he got sacked 7 freaking times last week.
Yeah, it was bad. Oh man, and the guys, the only right wing Duck fan said late but legit. It was a legit hit. I just think he was wrapped up going out of bounds. The dude just got a free hit on him. And if that would have been against your team, if Bo Nix would have been knocked out of a game because of that hit, you'd be saying the same thing. So
it looked like a normal hit to me. I mean, it just happened.
Normal hit.
It was like Travis Hunter was like,
get the hell out of here, bro.
And Travis Hunter's having a seizure and stuff, man. Look, it's Deion's fault that he plays that boy 60, 70 snaps a game. I can understand someone playing 2 ways because it's happened before in the past where you have
Deion,
like a Heisman Trophy candidate type player that plays on both sides of the ball just as a gimmick for 7 or 8 snaps. But this is like 60 snaps a game, man. It was bound to happen. He was bound to get that boy hurt. There's no way he should be playing that much. Now they'll be like, well, Travis Hunter said he's okay with it. Yeah, but Travis Hunter is a young man that really don't know much about certain things just yet. And Deion's supposed to be the damn adult that says, no, you can't play that many snaps.
He's supposed to be the mentor. Yeah, go down to the next comment. Bryce, I see Travis Hunter linked up. Now, I thought that was cool, except one thing. Why do they have to push Deion on that? Because the articles I read they were all congratulating Deion and not Travis Hunter and the boy Blasting.
Exactly, man.
Like that's you should be saying, like now that I have to disagree with. Like they should be giving Travis Hunter credit, and they should be giving an old boy from I don't know the dude's name, Colorado State, credit for that. Don't give it all to Deion. I get it, Deion's part of it. He should be the mentor, but good Lord, I gave him none. I was like, okay. And Justin, I said that was a little late, but that kid had to see it. But I don't agree with that, man. Trash talking is part of sports. If you don't, did you guys watch the Dream Team for God's sakes? Come on, don't talk to me about trash talking.
There's a little difference in trash talking and
Good
just
Lord,
being completely over the top with the
dude.
shit.
You love like Michael Jordan
off the wall kind of shit.
Have you heard Michael Jordan talk shit? Don't talk about talking shit. And when you're a Michael Jordan fan, because he talked
Michael Jordan talked
personal shit. He got personal with it.
And what happened?
He got into a fight.
Exactly.
During practice.
Exactly. He gets in a fight with somebody.
But I bet you guys love Michael Jordan, don't you? You love you some Michael Jordan.
That shit's gonna happen.
Man.
It's just like back in the day with the Detroit Pistons, man. You fucking talk shit to them, you come down the lane, you don't get it.
Exactly. So don't talk to me about being, you can't talk shit in sports.
What happened though is he got
cream puffs.
They got it for talking trash. And he was talking trash.
No.
They lead his ass up.
Dude. But don't talk to me about being injured because you're talking trash. Don't say someone deserved it because they're talking trash. It's a competitive sport.
He absolutely
Jesus Christ.
Look, man, I can understand talking trash, but all this bullshit about if you can get the NIL money, you should push it in someone's face. I'm not down with that.
Ooh,
I'm not down with hey, look at my gold watch. Look at my gold necklace.
So you must never watch professional sports. Then you must never watch professional sports. They do that shit every game,
That's the point. This is not professional sports.
They're professional athletes now. They're getting paid NIL money. They're no longer amateurs.
Yeah, but they should be. They shouldn't even be wearing fucking chains and gold shit fucking at the games anyway.
Why?
Because
if I have money, if my family has money, if I want to wear a gold chain, I'm going to wear a damn gold chain.
Necklace? What if someone just rips that shit and just cuts your damn throat with it?
I think you're turning into a damn softy too. Bunch of cream puffs in here now.
I tell you what, you wouldn't see Nick Saban do. You wouldn't see him over there adjusting, hit one of his players' gold necklace. That's what Dion was doing in the middle of a game. Come here, son. Your gold necklace is messed up. Come here. You got a link missing.
Man.
Hey, go back here to the back and get your link. Put it back in there.
You're wild, bro. And Sooner Roth has a good point. Larry Bird talked major shits out of the place. He did. I think he was probably the top trash talker in NBA history.
Larry Bird, they've been doing a lot of documentaries on him, and he's been getting a lot of play here lately about that. I mean, they asked a lot of players, even Michael Jordan would tell you that he was one of the few people that get in his head.
Yeah, And Bryce, I was a Baker fan. Yeah, he was the king of when he stamped that flag in the middle of that Ohio bro. That shit had me jumping, and I'm not even an Oklahoma fan. I was like, fuck yeah, bro.
What's that?
Like, when Baker Mayfield took the Oklahoma flag and put it in the O.
Oh, yeah.
After they beat them, that was epic, dude. I think that's one of the top college sports memories I have, man, with them doing that.
Here's the thing. I have a problem or issue with them doing that, but don't get mad when someone lights your ass up. Like Travis Hunter talks shit. He gets lit up on the sidelines. Don't be crying for him.
No. But it's also not intentionally a reason to hurt somebody either.
It is.
That's all I'm saying. I know what you're trying to do. See, here's the problem with everybody listening right now. This dude on here is not used to some motherfucker coming in here and talking shit back to him and putting him in his place. Now that I'm back to podcasting, he gonna have problems.
You ain't putting me in my place. I'm sitting here going. I'm telling you straight up.
Yeah, I got you.
You talk smack. I would light your ass up on the sidelines. Like
okay.
You'd be cowering down just like him, man. You'd be like,
yeah, stupid. Oh man.
There you go. That's right. If you talk shit, be ready to take the hits.
Yeah. But I'm saying not intentionally to hurt somebody is what I'm getting at.
Well, I mean,
I don't believe that's what he did either. I don't believe the guy intentionally hurt him.
What I'm saying, though, I mean, how are you going to know that it's going to do that?
I know. I'm just messing with you to a certain extent. Like, of course, you're going to expect it.
Well, you know.
Look.
You're wetting your diaper, man. I believe you done rashed up over Dion over there.
No, I'm not a Dion fan, to be honest with you. I think he needs to prove himself before everybody gives him all this credit, in my opinion. But Saban should wear all the national championship rings on the sidelines. Bro, that's wild, Sooner Ross. If you saw that. That'd be one of the funniest things.
What's that?
Oh, he said Saban should wear all his national championship rings on the sideline.
Yeah. Man, you have to get a nose ring. Put one in his fucking nose because,
He got so many.
and Saban walk around with a nose ring, a national championship nose ring in his nose.
Yeah.
Y'all done got me cussing bad. I'm going to get white strike on that F word.
Yeah, I know. I said it like once already. My bad. The hurricane, that gold chain BS didn't help them one bit. Keep that in Hollywood. You know what's funny is, you know who started that? Who started the turnover belt? That was Alabama. I know a lot of people will link it back, and even Google will link it back to Miami. It's not correct. You can actually find games before Miami where Alabama had the belt out. It was Alabama that started the turnover belt. And Miami claimed the turnover chain. Then they claimed the turnover, I forgot what they call it. And they made a rule for it where you can have one item on the field. Now, Colorado has, look, Deion's taken it, to me, out of proportion. The turnover thrown, did you see the giant chair they bring out?
That's what I'm talking about.
That he did. Well, he's painting targets on his back. Of course he is. He's Deion. He's always done that his entire career.
I don't mind him doing that. I don't mind him talking trash. Like you said, I grew up watching Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock.
Oh, yeah, The Rock,
trash. But when you talk trash and someone gets your ass back, don't get mad. And Deion gets mad when someone gets him back or someone says something back to him. He got all pissed off and got his pennies in a bunch when that Colorado State coach called him out about wearing those Power Ranger glasses to the press conference.
He said, "What is it? You should take your glasses and hat off when you talk to somebody." Something like that. I forgot what he said exactly, but I found it funny.
When you're an adult, you need to take off your hat and your glasses. When
Yeah,
you're
that's it.
Or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Oh man,
he's stoked for a $10 donation.
He's always in here, man. He Stokes. He's got family that comes in here too, right?
Yeah, he does. His mother Alice Stokes and his aunt Nellie.
Yeah, Alice. That's it. Yeah.
He says, "Hell, yeah, intentionally. You intentionally talk this shit. Now I guess you're saying he's gonna get it." Y'all want to get your comment pushed to the top like Keith? Just hit that $sign at the bottom there and it'll highlight it. Make a donation to the show.
Bryce Wayne said, "Y'all got to link up and do an Oklahoma drill to settle this." We actually lived together for about a week and a half. Yeah,
longer than that. What did he say?
He said Bryce Wayne says y'all got to link up and do an Oklahoma drill to settle this. You see it? That's funny.
I don't see it.
Let's see here.
Don't see it.
But it's above He Stokes donation, 2 above it. The one where you clicked on right now. There you go. Man, I'm telling you, neither one of us ain't doing no Oklahoma drill.
No.
You want to see 2 out of shape people? That'd be the funniest thing.
Last time he was down here, I drank him under the table.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
He tried to get up out of the chair, pushed him down. He tried to get back up again, pushed him down again. I was like, try that shit the 3rd time, bitch.
I had to go up there and show him how to drink a little bit because his old age is kicking in, apparently. Oh, man. As much as I love Baker, sticking the flag in the middle of the big old presidents. Yeah.
Yeah, Baker was a shit talker, too, you know. I remember him grabbing his junk over there on the sidelines against Kansas.
Oh, yeah. Well, Kansas didn't shake their hands.
Yeah. They started
pregame. They started it.
You're right. Kansas did start that, didn't they?
Yeah. They refused to shake Baker's hand. So he started grabbing his,
Well, actually,
the whole game.
During the game, they was taking shots at him. They were gouging him.
They were.
And he was getting pissed off about it because the referees were not seeing it. They were not calling it because that's what Big 12 officials do. They don't call shit.
Oh, bro, I like Ian Hence's comment. Old Deion and Lake Floyd might be competing for the Tebow title, bro.
They're going to be the bitch out west.
I like that.
Also, y'all see these people in here with the badges, like Justin Goss and Sean James and whatnot. If you want to get your badge and get deputized and be in the outlaw posse, there's a join button next to the subscribe button. You hit that. It's $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. You get your badge, get deputized, and maybe get a Four Horseman shout out on the podcast as well as maybe be the comment of the day.
So what do you guys think about? What's your comment on it? What do you think about Shador being one of the top? Like somebody put he was a top 5 quarterback. He'd be a top 5 quarterback in this class. Shador Sanders.
No.
Top 5? That's wild to say top 5.
He hasn't really proven himself to me because he's played some pretty weak competition up until this point.
Yeah.
TCU was a fluke. We all know that. And Nebraska.
They lost. TCU lost everyone to the draft last year, including their head coach. Like that's what's wild to me.
Well, they lost their coordinator. They still got their head coach.
I know. It was a slight comment. So they lost everybody, essentially. It's kind of like Clemson. Clemson lost everybody, literally.
Well, I mean, there's another guy that's done that for years, and he's been able to recuperate. Nick Saban.
Nick Saban, yeah. Well, is he recuperating right now?
This last round may have caught up to him. He may have finally run out of resources. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not really convinced about Tommy Reed yet. I think Tommy Reed should be down on the field.
I think that this year you can't look at those two guys. Look, Kevin Steele has made an impact on the defense. I don't care what anybody says. The defensive attitude looks way better than what it has been. I'm talking about just attitude looks better. As far as the offense, look, Bill O'Brien put us behind the chains for quite a few years. It's going to take more than 1 year to get our offense back in order. It is. Let's be real. Like, it's going to take a couple of years.
Bryce Wayne says he saw a video of a guy on Colorado staff that had to carry the throne off the field after that ass whooping, and he got secondhand embarrassment.
Yes, I actually saw that. It took 2 guys to carry the damn thing off the field.
Have you ever been embarrassed for someone? That's probably what he was feeling for Dion and them. I mean, that was sort of cringe.
Yeah, it was. I'll tell you another one, man. The damn Dolphins beating the Broncos 70-20. Has Colorado had a worse month of football? Or a worse week?
I forgot about that, man.
The Dolphins beat the Broncos 70-20 by 50 points.
I found out that's like the third most points. The third most in NFL history.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild.
Nobody scored up 70 points, I think, since the 60s.
66. Yeah. And then, you do that.
That's what they get for bringing out all those vulgar-ass rappers they had out there and them Dwayne Johnson's retarded ass out there.
Yeah.
The Rock. You can tell Rock's an attention whore, man. He come out there to see Colorado and Colorado State. When would you ever want Colorado and Colorado State to be a main attraction game? And have The Rock coming out there. What was that all about? I mean, that's so random. I mean, Rock has nothing to do with Colorado. He went to Miami. Just an attention whore. That's all. A bunch of attention whores out there.
Well, the USC game is getting a lot of attention because of Los Angeles, obviously. And it's in USC, I believe, so. How many calls do you think Oklahoma and Texas will the rest of the year in little 14, 16, whatever it is? Do they lose a playoff position for pride? I don't know. That's a tough one.
He was talking about the astronomical difference in penalties.
Yeah, 14, 16. Yeah, I know.
He's wondering, I guess, if the Big 12 would
I know. Or
screw themselves out of a playoff spot just to keep Oklahoma and Texas from winning the Big 12.
Yeah, Big 12. And no, I get exactly where he's going with it. Yeah, I don't like that. Just, I do believe the Big 12's got to hold something against them. Yeah, Clemson is constantly behind even recruits as BB. Look, that was one of my biggest attractions for BB going to OU was his recruiting ability. Yeah,
he's built relationships with people on the East Coast and in Florida and Georgia, and not to mention he already has Texas in his backyard when he comes to Oklahoma. That was just like that dumbass comment that Colin Cowherd made about Oklahoma when they come to the SEC. They're
They
not going
can't
to just be able to
recruit.
depend on Oklahoma State recruits. Well, they never depended on Oklahoma State recruits. They've
No.
always got players from Texas, even before they were in the SEC.
Yeah.
Colin Coward has a serious hard-on for Lincoln Riley.
He's always had one, though. That goes back years, man.
Someone told me he had a grudge against Oklahoma because they took his NBA team from him because he's from Washington, and Oklahoma City
Who cares?
took the Seattle Supersonics away from him.
Yeah, I agree with Husky at the bottom. He's a dumbass. I agree. I do agree with that.
Yeah, 10 million people did see that.
Bryce Wayne says, as Bama fans, has Tua's NFL success surprised y'all? I think he landed the perfect coach. Oh, that's another part of it. Thank you, Bryce, for reminding me. Not only did Denver get smacked around, right, by the Dolphins, bro, McDaniels was a ball boy for the Broncos and wanted to be the Broncos coach. He interviewed for it, and they wouldn't even give him the interview. How embarrassing is that? And then a couple years later, you get demolished. And you get to demolish the dude that got hired over you?
Josh McDaniels.
No one.
He's the head coach at Miami right now, right?
Yeah. He's the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. He was a ball boy. He never went through like this coaching tree, essentially, right? He was a ball boy at Denver and worked his way up as a ball boy, essentially, from the very bottom. And he interviewed for the Denver Broncos head coaching job however many years ago, and they wouldn't even give him the interview. So, and then he interviewed for the 49ers job, ended up becoming the 49ers, offense coordinator, something like that, and then ends up in Miami. So
thanks that I hit all of them tonight. I assume you're talking about Linky Boy and
we're
Con Time and who else? I forgot your boy.
What you said here.
I forgot your boy Jason Watkins over there, the Marshmallow. Let me go ahead and hit him one time.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you talking about?
It's some guy. He's got a damn podcast called HLF Media and stuff, man. He had me on the show one time, and then me and him got into it. And he called me a racist because I was calling Con Time. He said I was a racist. Telling people not to watch my show. He said, don't watch that show because he's racist. That kind of deal.
Look, there's a lot of Deion's giving a lot of people a reason to dislike him. You can start off with the whole baseball situation, throwing water on reporters. There's a lot of reasons to not like Deion Sanders. So
appreciate you jumping in tonight, Heath. Appreciate you jumping in, brother. Appreciate the donations to the program. He actually has to work, something I don't do.
We know. Oh, man.
Jonathan got me hooked up on the Uber and the podcasting, so I don't even have to work anymore.
And then I'm the one that stopped Ubering and podcasting, and I'm back to working.
I know, right?
Oh, man.
I need to come out there and go to work in San Antonio with you. I've been hearing y'all been having some border issues down there.
I don't hear about it. Look, I'm too much into my work. Oh, they're saying, say the best for last, coward. Ohio State, Alabama, Oklahoma, Georgia. Damn, that's your prediction? Do you think Alabama's going to make its way back to 2? Whoa.
Yeah, I did say the best. I forgot about Coward there.
Usually when me and you link up, we talk about everybody. So, yeah, it tends to happen.
Ohio State, Alabama, Oklahoma, Georgia. Your number 5 disappeared.
I don't think Ohio State. I think Michigan's going to win the Big Ten. I don't think Ohio State makes it in.
About Penn State.
Nope. I'm not falling for that trap again. Last year I said it.
Well, I mean, we kept saying
Penn State looked really good.
We kept saying that about Harbaugh. It's like Harbaugh could never get over Ohio State hump, and then he finally did it.
He has a
looked like Kirby with Alabama. Georgia got over Alabama's hump. Now they're back-to-back national champions.
Yep.
I remember messing with your boy. Can't remember his name. The Georgia guy, podcaster.
Oh, Fanatic?
Yeah. the fanatic. I remember messing with him a few years back, telling him that Georgia was going to get the first three-peat, and here they are.
Yeah, I know, right? You manifested it on a podcast.
I literally said that shit. I didn't think it was going to happen, though.
Hank says early loss is the best Bama can come back. Yeah, no, I agree with that. 'Cause Alabama, they've only won the title twice on an undefeated season, I believe. Under Saban.
Plus, it wasn't even a conference game yet. Next year, it'd be a conference game if we lose to them.
Yeah, it'd be a whole lot different.
So if Clemson and Florida State do end up leaving the ACC, what do you think happens to the ACC? Do you think they go out and add more teams, or do they start getting picked apart by the Big Ten and the SEC?
I think they'll get picked apart.
You think they survive, or you think they go the way of Pac-12?
I think it'd be another Pac-12. They'll turn into the Pac-2.
Well, the funny thing is,
Pac-12 turning into.
The funny thing is, the Big 12 looked like the conference that was going to die.
I know.
Kevin Warren pulled his infamous shit where he got the ACC and the Pac-12 to all come together in alliance and promise not to raid each other.
And then raid.
Yeah. The Pac-12 at that point had Oklahoma State and Texas Tech and a bunch of other programs ready to come to the Pac-12.
Yep.
And they didn't pull the trigger. And then the Big 12 got them a pretty good commissioner, and they went out and got the best of the best in the G5. And now the Big 12 looks like they may outlast the Pac-12 and the ACC. It may just be the Big Three. And I heard the playoff format, it's 6 and 6. You got 6 conference champions and 6 at-larges. I heard they're going to change that to 5 and 7 because the Pac-12 possibly disappearing.
A lot's going to change.
But I think, like I said earlier, they should go to 4 and 8 because it'll just be the Power 4 after the Pac-12 disappears. It should be 4 automatic qualifiers, the 4 major Power 5 conferences, and then have 8 at-large bids.
I'll tell you, it'd be funny. I know I'm kind of steering this away from that. The Pac-12 is going to Pac-2. Oregon State and Washington State being left. Washington State still undefeated, right? Yeah. What if Washington State ends up winning the Pac-12 title?
Yeah.
Before they all leave. That would be wild.
What if they win the national championship?
That would be wild if they win I know it's probably not going to happen.
If they made the playoffs, if Washington State or Oregon State, either one made the playoffs, that might be enough to maybe get them an invite to the Big 12 or somewhere like that.
Yeah. I remember when Mike Leach was at Washington State.
Mississippi State's not looking too good.
No, they're about to get blasted by Alabama.
Now, this is Milroe's first ever start on the road.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is not going to be a good game for Mississippi State.
They're not too good. Put up with those cowbells?
Yeah, because now I believe they've taken the leash off of Milroe. If he can run. The moment that got implemented, it kind of, yeah.
Says the ACC is in a horrible position, really good markets with teams who hate being in their conference. That's true.
Yeah, you're right.
It ain't just Florida State and Clemson. They're just the loudest. North Carolina and Miami want out too.
Yeah.
Those 4 definitely want out. And I see there probably is going to be some kind of bidding war between the SEC and the Big Ten over North Carolina. For some reason, they want North Carolina, both of them.
Yeah. Leach air raid at Washington State gave me nightmares. Yeah. Dude, Leach gave a lot of people nightmares at Texas Tech and Washington State. The only right-wing Duck fan, his comment.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Leach was someone put it RIP Coach Leach for real.
Yeah, that's the thing about Mike Leach is he'd go somewhere, these obscure places like Texas Tech and Washington State and Mississippi State. Places that nobody wanted to live either.
I know, right?
And he'd have a bad year his first year, but then he would always get those teams up to the level where they were at least competing for bowl bids. It would have been interesting to see if he had gotten that Tennessee job. Phil Fulmer screwed him out of Mike Leach because he went behind that AD's back while he was in Los Angeles and got his job taken away from him.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting to see Mike Leach at Tennessee with those kind of resources.
Mike Wilkerson says the Big 12 will be an ugly conference for sure. Yeah, after OU leaves, they pretty much carry the conference. So it's going to be bad when OU leaves, but the fact that OU and Texas both are leaving, it not only does it take out the team that was carrying your conference, it takes out the footprint, the team that had a huge footprint for the for the conference in general. Texas, one of the biggest money generators. Texas, right? So it strips them of a lot of things, not just a good team carrying the conference.
Well, a lot of people try to come in and say, that Oklahoma and Texas they didn't carry the conference last year, but that was an anomaly. Usually it's either Oklahoma or Texas, and more times than not, it's been Oklahoma. Oklahoma won numerous conference titles, even with Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
So even without a defense, they were winning conference titles.
Really, like Dave Aranda's not pulling his weight anymore. Like I thought for sure Baylor would be consistent, but I don't.
Someone's going to step up and become the new blue blood, in my opinion. It might be BYU.
Oh my gosh.
BYU has won national championship a long time ago.
Yeah. What, in the 80s?
Yeah, 84.
Then Joe Montana, who played at BYU?
It was Robbie Bosco.
Who was it?
His name was Robbie Bosco. He was the quarterback. He was the quarterback after Jim McMahon.
No, but who? What? Oh my! I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now.
Steve Young played.
Young played at BYU. Jesus, that's a Joe Montana. I knew it was one of them. I just couldn't.
They had a trio of great quarterbacks went through there. They had Jim McMahon.
That's right, Jim McMahon.
Jim McMahon set the tone, and it was Robbie Bosco that won the national title.
Yep, and then
it was Steve Young after that. And later on, they had Ty Detmer, who was a Heisman Trophy winner too.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
Probably not a very good one. Ain't trying to give us the education there.
Steve Young, yeah, man, I knew it. Unfortunately, I wasn't old enough to remember. I was in '86. I was 1. I was born in
there is a possibility Utah could become a blue blood by being in the Big 12. That's why Kyle Whittingham made a comment the other day about he thought that Utah and UCLA would become conference opponents again one day in the future. Like, Utah was just going to be in the Big 12 temporarily and end up in the Big 10. But I think that would be a bad move for Utah, man. They would just become another mid-card team if they went to the Big 10. I think they could take this Big 12 thing and turn it in their favor.
Utah's a good team. Every year, Kyle Whittingham never just, I don't know. He's got to be one of the most consistent coaches out there. That man, yeah.
Zach Hebner in the house. He got his badge. He's a part of the Outlaw Posse. He said Oklahoma and Texas would have stayed in the Big 12, would have at least tried to add more teams and have better competition.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I heard actually that Oklahoma and Texas kept them from adding teams. And they was going to expand back in 2016, and they were going to get some of the same teams that they just got, and that Oklahoma and Texas sort of nixed that deal.
Well, I know Texas blocked one. In 2016, Texas vetoed, and I don't know what team it was.
Texas,
they vetoed.
Texas is going to come in this conference, and people say they're not going to do the same thing, but I think they will. I think what they'll do is
they'll try.
They'll come in here and they'll pretend like, we're going to come in and we're going to try to be on an even keel with everybody, and everybody's got to say. But in the back of their minds, I'm telling you, Texas is thinking, we're going to come in and control this shit eventually.
Yeah. No, Texas does have a tendency to do that, though.
I need to give you master controls to this thing so you can highlight these comments.
No. I'm past those days. I passed the baton off to you.
No, screw that.
I taught you how to do all this. Yeah. It's nice being on this side of the counter. to where I don't have to control nothing. I just talk. This is really nice, actually.
Yeah, right.
A lot of people, I don't know if you guys run podcasts out there, but you gotta learn a lot. Oh gosh.
What's that?
I said podcasting, you have to learn a lot.
Yeah, it's not as easy as you think. You get into it. There's a lot of stuff I learned that I didn't have any idea until you told me.
Well, you learned a lot on your own too.
You have to.
You did good. You did good. You grew. I watched you grow.
Plays Ole Miss this week at Ole Miss. Do you think Ole Miss will recover from the loss to Alabama next to LSU?
Ole Miss is garbage this year. They're going to have no chance.
I just don't know if LSU's that good, really. I mean, they beat Mississippi State, but, they probably should have lost that game to Arkansas.
LSU figured out something quicker than what Alabama did. Let your quarterback be the quarterback they're supposed to be. Jaden Daniels, they tried to make him a passer against Florida State. Look how it turned out. Then after that Florida State game, what did Brian Kelly say? We're just going to let Jaden Daniels play like Jaden Daniels is supposed to do. And when they did that, look what happens. They look 20 times better. Jalen Milroe, they tried to hold him back in that pocket in the Texas game. Don't try to run as much. We lose the game. They let him off, right? Let him run around. We look like a different team.
Mike Happy has become the newest member of the Outlaw Posse. Just got his badge, brother. He's been deputized, Jonathan.
Congrats.
So now Mike Happy will be eligible for that random Four Horsemen shout-out as well as maybe be the comment of the day. Appreciate the hell out of that, Mike. Me and Mike's had a back and forth for a while. We sort of love to hate each other. Me and him would disagree on a few things, but that's what makes it fun, right? Is disagreeing.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Just someone calls you a racist, and it becomes personal.
Oh, that's different. But yeah. See, Ian Hintz, I can't agree with the comment, man. I think Georgia's taking the reins of the SEC. They've won back-to-back national championships.
Is that the comment you're talking about?
Yeah.
Texas and Oklahoma might take over the conference if Alabama can't get it figured out.
You got to get past Georgia. Because right now, nobody's getting past Georgia as of 2 years in a row.
Well, I think Georgia's schedule sort of masked a lot of things for them. They
won the national championship. Get over it.
They look really bad against South Carolina.
I don't care. They looked really bad last year against a lot of teams. They won the national championship.
They give up 21 points to UAB.
Go back and look at last year's schedule too. In the second half of the season, they came on really, really quick.
The hedge pissers, man. They're gonna go down there to Auburn. They're gonna get deballed down there.
No, Auburn is nobody.
Hey, you gotta admit now, as shitty as Auburn is, whenever you have to play them in Auburn, at least for us, it's always a boogaboo, man. Even when we had Bryce Young, man, it was 10-3. We had to tie that game up in the last minute. Man. There's some kind of voodoo shit going on down there. All them barns. Georgia. We got all them barns down there where they do witchcraft and shit. And they call them the Barners for a reason. Bunch of barn monkeys.
Oklahoma had Georgia instead of SMU. Bulldogs would have lost.
There's Kuz's Corner in the house.
What's going on, Kuz?
Dynamic duo is back again. Yeah, we're like the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors.
That's my favorite wrestling
tag team. What a rush!
Yeah, it's my favorite tag team when I watch wrestling.
Lots of people work through tag teams to become singles champions and become famous that way. But there's a few tag teams out there, man, that they were famous because they were a tag team. And
Road Warriors.
The Road Warriors, to me, was probably the most epic. They had the character and the shtick and all that to go with it, man. They weren't the best technological wrestlers, but technically speaking, but They had the gimmick for damn sure.
Coos can tell I'm sick too. Yeah, I'm getting over a sinus infection, man.
Now I'm glad Jonathan got on here because I was choking over here. I saw his face pop up. I'm like, thank God, I was about to choke to death, man. I went through a whole bottle of water over here.
Yeah, it's been bad lately. I'm in Texas, San Antonio, where it finally started raining again. It hasn't rained here, it feels like in years. Yeah, I remember that. They played Cumberland State or Cumberland College. I remember that. I can actually, yeah, I did research on that. I had to write a paper on that for school. That was one of my papers I chose to write about.
That game don't count, man. That shit was before.
And it counts.
Actually, what happened was Cumberland didn't have no players.
They didn't have no players, yeah. They went and got coal miners essentially to work to play football.
Got people out of the local trailer park or something.
Exactly. They went to the Piggly Wiggly and said, let's come on down. Oh, man.
We love you more, cuz. What you need to do is come up here and go to the bar with me and Jonathan because so I can show how much of a lightweight he is.
Yeah. You don't embarrass yourself. I want to embarrass you. I still got a video of that, right? Can't not embarrass you. I don't want to do it on your own podcast. I tried to tell
you, it's like, man, I'm on my second picture, man. You ain't finished that first one yet.
You're over there drinking what? Adios MFers. Was that it?
It's called the Screaming Blue MF.
Screaming Blue MFer. I was drinking Long Island's.
And
well, I think I drank three?
I got pretty bad that night.
At they were half pitchers.
I was wanting to fight the damn bouncer.
Yeah, we were lit that night.
That dude was an asshole. I wasn't even drunk yet. He was being an asshole to Savannah's
birthday. Wait, wasn't that her birthday when we did that? No?
Yeah, he was just being a jerk. It was the bartender's husband. And he just
that was it.
Trying to show off, man. And I started getting pissed off. Jonathan's like, calm your nerves.
Yeah, as normal. I got to be the freaking calm one, the babysitter.
Now, this is a good point. Washington looks like the best team in college football. They are under the radar somewhat. Washington has looked pretty good so far.
They have the Heisman Trophy winner on their team, Michael Penix.
You notice how those Pac-12 teams are all bunched up together. You know, USC dropped down 3 spots. Now you got USC, Oregon, Washington, Oregon State, Utah, all there within like 8 to 15. They're all together.
Pac-12's got a lot of good teams this year.
Their last year is conference, and they're probably going to win the national championship or something.
You got Bo Nix, who's a Heisman contender right now. You got Michael Penix, who's a Heisman contender. You got Caleb Williams, who's a Heisman contender. If DJ could have kept up what he was doing with Oregon State, he could have been there. They got a lot. Washington State, they got a lot going for them right now. Utah, without Cam Rising, like crazy.
Who's the Mountaineers play? Who's the Mountaineers play this week, Kuz?
Bryce Johnson, the mediator. I've always had to be the mediator, man. It always comes down to that.
Yeah, that's what he wants y'all to think.
Tell me I'm wrong.
This guy's scandalous. At least I'm out front with it. He's sneaky about that shit. He's got like 8 girlfriends now.
You are wild. If you know where they're at, let me know. Send them this way.
He's like the godfather of San Antonio and shit. Chris says, Mike, that's literally one of the things the college football community looks at. It matters. I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to.
Scroll up and look. Oh, no. He's saying, will people stop with we haven't played anyone BS? We have to play what's on our effing schedule. Who's Mike Wilkerson's team?
He's an Oklahoma fan.
Oklahoma fan.
Oklahoma hasn't really played a tough schedule yet, and that's what they're alluding to.
Oh, yeah.
And they really haven't played a tough schedule yet.
They're going to play better teams.
Iowa State, I would have said was going to be a better team than they lost to Ohio.
Yeah, I know.
So there goes that. So, Cuz, we need to get you on here with us.
Oh man,
We need to have
I
you
love
on
that.
here one night. Next time we do a live stream, you need to have you and Jonathan on here.
Dude, Bryce Wayne put Bo Nix about to be AARP eligible. That is true. Bo Nix has been in college since like 1987. I don't understand how that dude, like,
Bryce
it's kind of like that Bryce Wayne. If you gotta scroll up quite a bit.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
It's below. It's actually. Let's see. You need to give me. It's like 1, 2. Yeah, it's like a couple below where you did go, but never mind.
Yeah, Stetson Bennett's had demons ever since he left Georgia, man.
Yeah, I know.
I think later on down the road, Georgia, you're gonna have a situation like Urban Meyer at Florida. Because there's a lot of shadiness going on around there. Right now, it's easily covered up by wins.
Bo Nix took over for Cam Newton. Dude, I'm pretty sure Bo Nix took over for Jason Campbell. Pretty sure he was there. So, like, you remember Jason Campbell, right? He was part of the duo that beat us, 6 times in a row?
Yeah.
I don't think Jason Campbell ever lost to Alabama. I have to go back and look at that.
Yeah, one year I think they finished undefeated. And they didn't win the national title.
2004 or 5. I was talking to I had the opportunity to
something happened to Stetson Bennett that you know of?
I believe correct me if I'm wrong. I don't like saying this stuff without knowing the facts, but he pretty much became an alcoholic, so I heard. Like, raging alcoholic. Could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong out there in the comments. But the word I got was he started drinking heavily.
I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, go take your Pepto-Bismol and your Metamucil.
Shut
up. Oh, man. I'll scroll through some of these comments. I used to give this guy shit all the time. Mike Wilkerson says, I understand, but damn, who has had to? Yeah, we're in the cupcake part of the season, right? The first 4 to 5 weeks, in my opinion. You drinking more water? Sure it's not tequila in that thing?
Yeah, I wish. I got some tequila in there. I gotta get me some more water, man. I'm getting choked up over here. You just when you think them sinuses are gone, you start trying to talk a lot and you realize they're not.
Yeah. This Bo Nix, more like Bo Picks. Look, he looks a lot different since he left Auburn, except the one game against Georgia. Well, I mean, last year. Come on. Let's be real. See, I don't know the specifics, but the statement the Rams gave after they released him seemed concerning. It was drinking, right? Like, I believe it was drinking. I'll look it up here in a minute.
Jalen Hurts left Alabama and become an all-star in the NFL, and Bo Nix left Auburn and he's become an all-star. So,
all right, you know what? I want to have this conversation with you because we've never had this conversation. I know you really don't like watching the NFL, like I don't either. So that's kind of something we haven't, like, we're similar on. But for everybody out there listening, do you think Alabama should claim Jalen Hurts in the NFL? Yes or no? You want me to go first? I know my answer.
Oh, that's easy for me. I mean, I think both teams should be able to claim him. He's got a degree at Alabama.
Okay.
He's got a degree at Oklahoma. I guess. I don't know if he's got a degree at Oklahoma or not, but I know he's got a degree.
He does.
I know he's got a degree here. He's got a degree at both universities, so why can't both of them claim him?
I agree. I do agree with that, but my stance is if you can't claim both, because I do like I believe if you graduate at both universities in any circumstance, you can claim both. I do like that part. But in the circumstance of if he didn't graduate at one, like I don't know. I have a tough time claiming Jalen Hurts. And I think it's just because of the stigma of leaving and going to another college. I don't think it's bad for him. I'm not mad, whatever you want to call it, but I don't know. I've always had a tough time saying yeah.
Well, if you made me pick between the two, I would go with you because that's the last team he played for.
Yeah, Oklahoma. And
when
they
he was here
developed
at
him.
Alabama, honestly, when he was here at Alabama, he wasn't getting developed as good as he did at Oklahoma.
Exactly.
To me, if he doesn't go to Oklahoma, he never ends up being as good as he is. I don't like Lincoln Riley, but Lincoln Riley knows how to coach quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
His problem is he just refuses to adhere to any kind of defense. And if he ever gets that light bulb in his head, he's going to be a great coach. But I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, and that's why I think I'm so on the I won't claim him boat. It has nothing to do with him. It has to do with if he would have stayed at Alabama and remained a starter or not, he would not have ended up where he was at now, and he would not have become as developed. So
exactly. I completely agree. Mike Happy says he wants me to show up in Norman in 24 and buy me a drink. A lot of people have been telling me they want to fund us a trip up there.
Mike Happy hurt should claim himself.
You be down with going to Norman with me?
Norman's right up the road. When I say right up the road, it's what, 12 hours from here, 10 hours from here.
Woo, is that long?
Texas is big, bro. Like, damn. You remember driving through Texas to get to San Antonio?
Yeah, man. It's like a damn mid-sized country. I mean, y'all should be in the damn European Union, man. Because I seriously got curious one night, and I decided to see how big Texas was compared to countries. It's bigger than France. It's bigger than Great Britain. Yeah. It's bigger than Germany. It's bigger than Italy. It's bigger than all those European countries, man.
It's only 6.5 hours, by the way. Yeah, I thought it was farther away than that, but that's because it's north and south, not east and west.
Yeah, it is 12 hours from here to San Antonio.
12.5. I remember driving that. You drive across town, it's 8.5 hours from where I'm at in El Paso, Texas.
You killed my damn dog.
Oh, my Lord. I did not kill your dog. Have you told anybody about that on your podcast? This could be like a revealing. This could be a special episode for
I was moving back from Texas. I went down to Johnson's to stay for a while to decide whether I wanted to live down there. And on the way back, our dog died in the back seat of the car. We told Johnson to leave the windows down, and Johnson rolled the windows up. And
oh, you were so full of crap. No, that is not. No. That's
killed my damn dog. We was in Cracker Barrel eating.
No, we were in Cracker Barrel when. Where were you in Cracker Barrel? Where we were at? We were somewhere. No, he died when you guys were driving.
Yeah, he died while we was driving.
That's right. Good Lord, I remember that. That's horrible, man.
Yeah, my damn wife was tore up. She got me to crying over there.
Yeah, I'm not commenting on that because that was damn. I was like, you guys drove all the way down here to Texas and drive all the way back, and your dog dies. That's some crap luck. And then we buried him that night at your sister's house.
Ian Hintz says he believes 16 teams would be a perfect number as far as keeping two divisions. I think they're going to do away with divisions, ain't they?
Yeah.
I think divisions are going away. It seems like the divisions would be more of a thing that you would do, the bigger number of teams, though.
He said you don't have to contaminate yourself going through Texas, go up to Arkansas.
What's that?
Oh, Mike Happy said you don't have to contaminate yourself going through Texas, go up to Arkansas.
Go up to Arkansas.
I lived in Arkansas for a while. I lived in Hot Springs.
Poor Arkansas. They left the Southwest Conference back in the day, and they was like a dominant team. They come to the SEC, and they ain't won shit.
Yeah.
Neither has Texas A&M or Missouri. None of the newest members starting in 1992 have won the SEC title. No new member since 1992 has won a title in the SEC. So Texas and Oklahoma might want to think about that.
Damn, Missouri won the damn East, though, the first 2 years they were in it.
Yep. But none of them's won the SEC title yet.
Yeah.
Arkansas, South Carolina, Texas A&M, Missouri. I think that might be different with Texas and Oklahoma because they're actual blue bloods. All those teams are mid-card teams to me, even Texas A&M.
Bryce Wayne asked what type of dog you had.
I think he was a mixture of a Shih Tzu and something else.
This is a little lap dog.
Yeah, it wasn't a good time.
No, that was terrible.
That
was very terrible.
Had to wrap him up in a bag and put him in the trunk.
Like, that was one of the most traumatic experiences I've been through in like a 3-day period. Like, and I've been to the desert. So, like, so much happened.
Rattler couldn't lace up the boots of Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams, and Baker Mayfield.
Rattler could.
I don't know what happened to Rattler, man. I thought he was going to be the next big thing.
All right. Not everybody works out, man. Oh, Jalen Outlaw Hurts. That's funny. Jalen Hurts is killing
I'm not a real big fan of Jalen Hurts myself.
I mean, he's killing it in the NFL. Him and Tua both are balling out.
Yeah, it's hell having to choose between two NFL future Hall of Famers. Well, you know, he's got a good cast around him in Philadelphia, too.
Both of them do. Freaking Tua's got Waddle, Tyreek Hill. Is Gesicki still there? I don't know if Gesicki's still there, but they have a hell of an offensive staff there.
Kuz wants to know who's going to claim JT Daniels.
Oh, my gosh. Is JT Daniels still in college?
Yeah, he's at Rice now.
Oh, my God. That man has been in college since literally 88. He has to reach the limit on transfers. He's on like team number 8. Oh my God, it's like Blake Barnett for us in Alabama. Started off with us and lost his job to Jalen Hurts and went to Arizona State and USF or somewhere like that. Oh, Gesicki's in New England now. Okay, so either way, they got a great staff. They got Devon A-Chain from Texas A&M, the rookie. Then they got Morrissetti or Morissette. I don't know how you say his name, but yeah. When I realized JT Daniels at Rice, my mouth dropped. What's the likelihood of Georgia beating the absolute? Well, this year, none. Because Georgia, in my opinion, so far does not look that dominant.
I don't care who it is, man. It could be the LSU team.
It don't matter.
The LSU team from 2020 was 2019, and the Alabama team from 2020. They had that discussion, and man, it wouldn't matter what team it was, man. They can't beat an NFL team, in my opinion.
No, they can't.
You got to realize that those are the best players in the world. There's not very many spots available. You ain't got but 32 teams for the entire world, because now this is a worldwide sport. You got people playing American football in places like
in other countries,
Australia and shit like that. So we get players from Australia all the time over here.
Yeah, Sean James, I actually brought that up last year. I said that Lincoln Riley, because Baker Mayfield, all these guys Kyler Murray, were transfers.
Fingernails is the first quarterback that Lincoln Riley recruited out of high school that has had success under him. Mary Caleb Fingernails. Mary Caleb Williams. Likes to paint them fingernails, huh?
So Husky says, how do you go from being the starter at a national title team to Rice? And I don't think he was actually a starter at Georgia, was he?
He started for a little while and he got injured.
Oh, the three games or 4 games.
Yeah.
Then he never got back.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right.
That's why he transferred.
Yeah. Yep. Who you guys taking? Are you serious? Zachariah Branch is not even in the NFL yet. He hasn't even been in college long enough yet. Come on now. I'm taking Tyreek Hill all day long. One of the best NFL receivers. He's had like 200-something yards in the NFL. Come on now. Against Patrick Surtain, by the way. One of the best corners. Now, are we talking college? You still got to wait. Zachariah Branch has not been in long enough.
All right, brother. I guess I'm finna get up out of here.
Yeah, I got to go to work tomorrow.
Yep. It's good seeing you again.
You too. It's fun.
Maybe we can get it going again, maybe a Tuesday or Thursday. That's usually when I've been doing these live streams on Tuesday or Thursday. We're just going to call this Thirsty Thursday because, getting so close to the weekend, you're thirsty for some football.
Well, I'm off every Thursday, so it'd be easy for me to do it on Thursdays.
So you still thinking about plugging that channel or no?
No, not yet. I'm going to stay being guest on channels first for a while. I like not doing anything as far as the graphics and editing and all that good stuff.
All right.
This is nice.
I should have said this a long time ago, but if y'all don't mind, y'all can jump out and hit the like button. I ain't said that one time. I forgot to say that. Hit the like button, share. If you hadn't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button as well as hit the bell because that notifies you. I don't know why they make those two things separate. But hit the subscribe and the bell. And also, if you want to get your badge and get deputized like some of these guys in here, like Mike Happy did tonight, all you got to do is hit that join button next to the subscribe button, and you'll get your badge. You'll get deputized. It's $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. Get your random 4 horseman shout out and be the comment of the day. All right, brother.
It was nice. Thank you.
Again.
A couple of days. I'm sure I'll talk to you later.
That's right.
All right,
KMPA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.
That's right.